Hey there and a happy Sunday. I'm King 5 meteorologist Ashley Ruiz with a deeper dive into your forecast because we do have changes up ahead, especially considering we dealt with a heat wave and then cooler than normal temperatures and some decent soaking rain just over the span of the last week. And so the next couple of days are going to be pretty similar each and every day. And then toward the end of the week, we have summer heat returning to the Pacific Northwest. And the reason why each and every day is going to be pretty similar, we have this troughing. It's broad troughing over the Gulf of Alaska and to the northwest of us. That's going to keep things a little unsettled. And what I mean by that, cloudy mornings, mild temperatures, but nothing extreme. This trough is going to move to the north and to the east, and by the middle half of the week, Tuesday and into Wednesday, and that should allow a front to approach the area closer to the coast, but it's going to weaken significantly. This is Monday afternoon, so you see more clouds over western Washington, and then you can see that front right there, but not much to it by the time it reaches the northern coast. And with that, could have a couple of showers over the northern coast, maybe sometime Tuesday into Tuesday night, but the rest of us, it would just bring us maybe a band of clouds. And then Wednesday could be a couple of degrees cooler, but not by much. I just have a high near 76 for Wednesday. So today, 75, you see it's pretty similar each and every day, as I mentioned, but then a pattern flip toward the end of the week, which I'll touch base on in just a couple of minutes. But let's talk about this morning. So we have that broad low and then some more clouds just offshore and then more marine clouds hanging with us this morning. But as we heat up, those should eventually lift, mix out, and then we should have at least sun breaks. And you can see the sun peeking through the clouds atop Hurricane Ridge, even closer to the coast, and then for Squim and then portions of the strait. Still a lot of clouds, but I do see blue sky above as well. A look from our Columbia Center tower cam looking toward the Cascades, and you see some mid-level clouds, some low clouds in the mix as well. If you're hiking today, much better, but watch out for a couple of sprinkles, maybe for the northwestern interior, but highs will be in the upper 60s, low and mid 70s. And you see Blaine near 70, Mount Vernon 75. The islands may have a sprinkle there as well, but a better chance for our northern islands. So 60s, 70s, the interior areas, the foothills likely between 75 and 77 later in the day. And this is what I mean by the passes in the 60s, so doing much better than yesterday. You won't have to worry about as much precipitation, freezing levels coming up to about 12,000 feet as well. So let's take you to the South Sound and the foothills, mid and upper 70s, closer to Oregon, pushing near 80, and then the coast in the mid 60s, and then a little inland, lower 70s, with the chance for a couple of light showers. Same for the Olympic Peninsula, Port Angeles 64, Ocean Shore 65, and then Forks around 68 degrees today. Tonight, pretty similar to this morning and last night, 53 to about 59, mostly cloudy skies, a light wind. And then tomorrow, once we just burn through these low clouds and then we see a mix of sun and clouds into the afternoon, that should allow temperatures pretty similar again in the low and mid 70s. A few spots maybe in the upper 70s. Futurecast, a closer view of it. Into the afternoon, sun, clouds, and then maybe a couple of sprinkles out there. We're mostly cloudy tonight, and then watch what happens into Monday morning. We have those low clouds, and once again, they'll start to break up a good bit. There's that line of showers I was mentioning with that front. It weakens substantially, but could bring a couple of very light showers to the north coast before it just completely fizzles out. Then we turn the page to the middle half and the late portion of the work week and into the weekend. So we have this ridge of high pressure building over the four corners, and it's going to expand to the west, including the Pacific Northwest, and it's going to bring us drier, brighter, and hotter conditions. And it's not going to be an extreme warm up, at least it doesn't look like for now, and we'll have temperatures warming up into the 70s and lower 80s, so above normal instead of below normal. So next weekend is looking very, very nice if you have any outdoor plans, just on the warm side, but summer's far from over, so don't worry about that. We have a beautiful weekend up ahead. Let's take you to the tropics, the Atlantic. We have Hurricane Erin. It's still a major Category 3 hurricane. Major hurricane has to be Cat 3 or higher. It is bringing some heavy rain and some gusty winds to portions of Puerto Rico and then portions of the Turks and Caicos as well. It has weakened from a Cat 5 yesterday, now down to a Cat 3. It really takes a lot of energy and momentum for them to, and I say them, hurricanes, to hold their strength at a Cat 5. But it's likely going to fluctuate over the next couple of days, still forecast to become a Cat 4 once again. Going to bring some impacts to the southern Bahamas, maybe the central Bahamas as well, but eventually it's going to curve off to sea, but coming close enough to the east coast, if you have plans out there, family, rip current risk, very strong waves, and maybe a little bit of wind depending on how close to the Carolinas it will approach, but then Bermuda coming close to that, likely at least bringing some impacts there. And there's another wave just to the east of Erin, and so it is turning into the peak of hurricane season in the Atlantic Basin. We don't have to worry about any hurricanes up here, as we well know. Atmospheric rivers, though, we deal with those lows as well, but we don't have any of that, at least not for the next week. So not a bad week at all. We'll have 70s. Our normal high is about 78, and so you see likely going to come close to that before we warm things up once again. Now looking toward the end of the month, this will likely change. This is beyond the 7-day, but still looking like we'll have mid-80s perhaps next Sunday and into next Monday, but then temperatures may start to moderate later in the work week and then potentially heading into next weekend. Remember, you can always find the latest forecast, king5.com, the King 5 app, and then an extended look at your forecast on King 5 Plus.